Thank you for watching Poetry in Motion with your host, Dee Freeman. Dee Freeman. Dee Freeman. Dee Freeman. Dee Freeman.
Hello, hello, hello there. Welcome to Poetry in Motion. I'm Dee Freeman, your host, and I am thrilled that you're here with me. And I'm excited to be here today because I'm in a new studio and it feels pretty good. And I will be sharing a few pieces of history with you today. I hope you'll enjoy. Jokingly thinking, yet whispering out loud like Forrest Gump. Sorry to interrupt your Black Panther party. How I seriously wish I had known your history, your function, and your priorities those many years ago. I cannot, without remorse, accept the fact that we let the enemy put you down like an unwanted pet. Done in by the supremacists, by the racists, a literal kill of Hampton, or a black jacket frill of Newton and Carmichael. I now call out to the stars, speaking it into the universe. I plead, hoping the likes of you resurface, reincarnate in our desperate need. Manifest yourself, Black Panther Party. This time, I won't dare interrupt. I'll join in your mission for self-defense against police brutality, for your service for the poor, for your community connectedness. I'll join in your mission for your free lunch programs, for your urban clinics, for your medical care projects. I'll join in your mission for your school programs, for your preached political empowerment, and for teaching of self-respect. I'll join in your mission for the 10-point program. I'll join in your mission for all that you did, for the ideals that you stood for. I'll join in your mission wanting land, bread, housing, education, clothing, justice, peace, people's community control. So, BPP, you make me proud, wanting you back. I'll join in your mission with your ultimate heroes, Seal, Hampton, Newton, Carmichael, Rush, Cleaver. For you, BPP, should now be our number one mission. And believe me, I wish a lifetime membership, and I'll fight to keep your mission alive. That's Mission Interrupted. I think this is going to be in my forthcoming book, Bold Conversations. So I hope you enjoy that. And I'd like to share some information about the Black Panther Party and their 10-point program that when I was growing up, I knew nothing about because they were so defamed. These are some history notables. In the 1960s, the civil rights nonviolent movement and the focus on integration had not met some of the expectations of some of the younger folks. So in 1966, college students Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton in Oakland, California, founded the Black Panther Party. Their cry was Black Power rather than We Shall Overcome. It was one of the most prominent groups and also perhaps one of the most misunderstood and vilified groups by the white establishment at that time. J.E. Hoover saw the potential of this group and was not about to let the black man have that much power or any control over what happened in their own communities. He made it his priority to shut down the organization, basically ruining its reputation, and even we lost a lot of the leaders, and history has shown that some of the government at that time was behind the loss of these leaders. The 10-point program formed the basis for the Black Panther Party and was seen as a governing document that defined the actions of the BPP. The highly symbolic photo of Huey Newton was circulated alongside the 10-point program, where he's wearing that famous Black Panther cap, kind of tilted to the side, and was dressed in the standard Black Panther uniform. So it's in quotes that he was sitting comfortably but alert, his feet positioned ready to stand. So if you see my picture behind me, that is of a Black Panther member. Though in 1970, Newton shifted the focus of his political activities from Black nationalism to intercommunalism, seeking to unite and empower all disenfranchised groups in 1972. The 10-point program was modified, and it reflected changes, like he added one of the points for free health care. The party had changed from merely focusing on blacks themselves to now focusing on more minority groups and how to improve all of the lives. Focusing on injustices, they began to see their struggle as one that many other people faced. The 10-point program was ultimately unsuccessful, and I'm reflecting and understanding why. Though it played a meaningful role in the development of the civil rights movement in the United States in the 60s, the 10-point program also influenced the political outlook of those who came of age in the post-civil rights era and the hip-hop generation, notably Tupac Shakur, who was the son of a former Black Panther, Afeni Shakur, who based his philosophy loosely of the thug life on the insights from the 10-point program. And in quotes, it says, this was an attempt to codify practices that could reduce violence in the Black community and restore dignity to humiliated, disrespected, and disowned Black men. So these are the contents of the 10-point program. Number 1, we want freedom. We want power to determine the destiny of our Black and oppressed communities. We believe that Black and oppressed people will not be free until we are able to determine our destinies in our own communities ourselves by fully controlling all the institutions which exist in these communities. Number 2, we want full employment for our people. We believe that the federal government is responsible and obligated to give every person employment or guaranteed income. We believe that if the American businessman will not give full employment, then the technology and means of production should be taken from the businessman and placed in the community so that the people of the community can organize and employ all of its people and give a high standard of living. Number 3, we want an end to the robbery by the capitalists of our Black and oppressed communities. We believe that this racist government has robbed us, and now we are demanding the overdue debt of 40 acres and 2 mules. 40 acres and 2 mules were promised over 100 years ago as restitution for slave labor and mass murder of black people. We will accept the payment in currency, which will be distributed to our many communities. The American race has taken part in the slaughter of over 50 million black people. Therefore, we feel this is a modest demand that we make. And I don't know about the 50 million, but I know that he was speaking from a knowledgeable base, hopefully. We want number 4, we want decent housing fit for the shelter of human beings. We believe that if the landlords will not give decent housing to our black and oppressed communities, then the housing and the land should be made into cooperatives so that the people in our communities, with the government aid, can build and make decent housing. Number 5, we want education for our people that exposes the true nature of the decadent American society. We want education that teaches us our true history and our role in the present day society. We still want that. We believe in an educational system that will give our people a knowledge of self. If you do not know knowledge of yourself and your position in the society and the world, then you will have little chance to know anything else. Number 6, we want completely free health care for all black and oppressed people. We believe that the government must provide free of charge for the people health facilities which will not only treat our illnesses, most of which have come about as a result of our oppression, but which will also develop preventative medical programs to guarantee our future survival. I don't know if they want that. We believe that mass health education and research programs must be developed to give all black and oppressed people access to advanced scientific and medical information so we may provide ourselves with proper medical care. Number 7, we want an immediate end to police brutality and murder of black people, other people of color, all oppressed people inside the United States. For we believe that the racist and fascist government of the United States uses its domestic enforcement agencies to carry out its programs of oppression against black people, other people of color, and poor people inside the United States. We believe it is our right, therefore, to defend ourselves against such armed forces, and that all black and oppressed people should be armed for self-defense of our homes and our communities against any fascist forces. Number 8, we want an immediate end to all wars of aggression. We believe that the various conflicts which exist around the world stem directly from the aggressive desires of the United States ruling circle and government to force its domination upon the oppressed people of the world. We believe that if the U.S. government or its latchkey do not cease these aggressive wars, that it is the right of the people to defend themselves by any means necessary against their aggressors. Number 9, we want freedom for all black and poor oppressed people now held in the federal, state, county, city, and military prisons and jails. We want trials by a jury of our peers for all persons charged with so-called crimes under the laws of this country. We believe that the many black and poor oppressed people now held in the U.S. prisons and jails have not received fair and impartial trials under the racist and fascist judicial system and should be free from incarceration. We believe in the ultimate elimination of all wretched, inhuman penal institutions because the masses of men and women imprisoned inside the United States or by the U.S. military are the victims of oppressive conditions, which are the real cause of their imprisonment. We believe that when persons are brought to trial, that they must be guaranteed by the United States juries of their peers, attorneys of their choice, and freedom from imprisonment while awaiting trials. Number 10, we want land, bread, housing, education, clothing, justice, peace, and people's community control of modern technology. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve in the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and the natures of God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to this separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light or transient cause. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, presumably invariably the same object, evinces and a design to reduce them under dispositions, it is their duty to throw off such governments and to provide new guards for their own future security. And these were the 10-point programs of little Bobby Hutton, Hampton, Seal, Newton, Palmer, William O'Neill, Eldridge Cleaver, and Stokely Carmichael. All right. So I hope you understood those and understood that the Black Panther Party was not the thugs that we, when I was growing up, believed them to be. They were only trying to help their communities and keep them safe. So that was a real revelation for me when I read about them, and I wanted to share that so other people, if you didn't know, now you know. Now you can do some of your own research and say with me, we need you back, Black Panther Party. This is to honor our Black history, and this piece is called The Many. You know, I enjoy doing Black history pieces all year long. So um, we're near the end of our Black History Month. But for me, Black History is all year. The many ancestors of yesterday left us much hindsight, insight, foresight. Their voices, speaking Black, thinking Black, living Black, teaching Black, preaching Black, spewing Black, walking Black, talking Black, loving Black, and being Black. I hear these voices of my ancestors, for they speak to us. They chant, they whisper, they shout, they scream out. They hum, they sing, they moan, they groan, they sigh, they cry. They even stand silent, but yet they stand. They tell their stories in songs, in narratives, in memories, in sufferings, in tales, in actions, in cries, in wails, in love. The ocean floors are littered with the bodies and the bones of my ancestors. The earth's surface was moistened by the warm, flowing blood of my ancestors. The atmosphere is yet filled with the wails of anguish of my ancestors. They continue to show us, to guide us, to speak to us. Malcolm X looms and even morphs much higher in his short time here than would have us to believe, for he spoke eloquently and powerfully, end quote. Speaking this way does not mean I am anti-white or anti-brotherhood. It means I am anti-exploitive, anti-oppressive, anti-degrading. We declare our right on this earth to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary. W.E.B. Du Bois employs polemic writings, a betterment philosophy, pushing to wake us, the talented 10th, racial equal rights, the origin of the NAACP, while also expounding on our struggles, on our culture, on our rise in political and social status, on the souls of Black folk. Harriet Tubman also asks, is we free yet? As she trods alongside hundreds to freedom, assuring them they'd be free or die a slave, determined to die trying. Carter G. Woodson speaks of the miseducation of the Negro, leaving his legacy, Black History Month. He mandates that we should think for ourselves, initiate a concept of who we are. We should learn who we are. We should celebrate who we are. We should handle our business, then teach, organize, create, take action, serve, then motivate. Though hundreds of years outside the walls of slavery, we are yet forced to convene and agitate, seeking to find ways and means to speed up this slow improvement of our condition. Yet we still, as then, fight for equality. James Weldon Johnson spoke in lyrics, advising us to lift every voice and sing, as he also told us how we could become a living soul in the creation. Booker T. Washington boldly implores acquisition of knowledge as the founder of the Tuskegee Institute, and clarifies action as we take in advancing our cause and moving up from slavery. Nat Turner spoke to us with his committed actions, with his insurgents, with his determination, using the only means necessary. Martin preached about his dream. He spoke, I have a dream. He lived the dream. He inspired others to dream. He died to keep the dream alive. A bold mission and a cause for which he proudly dreamed. Fannie Lou Hamer still speaks to us as she languishes, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired, though she continued to fight for equal justice whenever and wherever she could. We have so many people in our history who fought for us. Some even died for us. So we should go out and pick up the mantle and fight for our true freedom. So thank you for being here with me today. Tune in next time for messages of blessings and inspiration, for guests sharing life and education, for words of powerful motivation and editorials for deep contemplation.
God has a purpose for your life, a reason for your struggles, and a plan for your faithfulness. So be proud, be productive, and by all means, be blessed.